Hey guys, this is Project Dave, Lancet Ghost Trick Fan Detective, the demo. Um, so I was going to cover this at some point, but Capcom sent me an email, or a proxy of Capcom sent me an email that said, hey, we'll send you swag if you cover this. So miraculously, I hadn't covered it by that point, or made a video for it. So if I had made one previously, it would have been like, I'm sorry, you got to cover it again if you want the swag in the mail. But nominally, I can just cover this way now, and thus prevent this problem. So, there you go. We did it. Amazing. But, I feel like waxing philosophical, so that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. The music in this game is great, and it seemed cool, plus the earnestness of the director in the Capcom showcase. And his plea at the end, he said, so he spoke in English the entire time, and he's just a Japanese man living in Japan. Every one of the things that Capcom presented were just, here's the game director, and here's him talking about the game in Japanese. But this, for Ghost Trick, it was game director, but he's talking in English. And he said, I practiced for 2 weeks to do this. So if you ever meet me in person, I would appreciate it if you learn Japanese first. Which is a funny thing to say. Will the Baka Gaijin not go and meet him? Will they learn Japanese? I think if it's Ghost Trick, people that travel to Japan for the purpose of meeting the game director of Ghost Trick, you know, this is just a vast number of people, hundreds of thousands of people, surely. That subset of people would probably know some Japanese, if I had to hazard a guess. But, who can say? So anyways, onwards to philosophical notions. So one of the things that the game brings up here shortly is that a dead body is different as a biological material than a random mechanical thing. So if it's near death, then this is definitely true, but at some point doesn't the body become resources? The body breaks down, so the philosophical question is, at what point do the individual aspects of the corpse become as mundane as a normal thing, like a trash can or a barrel or whatever you're leaping to, a girder? At what point does that happen? So this got me to thinking about myself, like previous renditions of myself in a philosophical notion. So I just I bought Marcus Aurelius's The Meditations for Barnes & Noble. I took a day off and relaxed and read some of the Meditations in a park. Well, what is essentially a park. Which wasn't there when I was a child, but now it's there. So it would have been cool if it was there when I was like 10. That would have been sick, but it wasn't there. It's just there now. Those bastards. The progression of time and so forth. But on to the point. So when I look at previous versions of myself, I do not get angry, or I don't think, oh, the present version of myself is the perfect ideal being, and all other versions of myself were just working up to this point, but they were failing at being the perfect ideal being, like I am presently, as I am at all times. So you may not perceive that as sardonic the way that I said it, but it is very sardonic, of course. So what I'm talking about is the notion that present morality is like universally the best morality applied to any given situation. So just that, except with the individual perspective of, oh, I had this point of view when I was younger. It could be more right or less wrong or whatever. But I don't have this problem. I can just look back and say, oh, this was my perspective at that time. This is the reason why I felt that way, and so forth. So I'm able to disconnect myself from that notion of molding my own philosophical or perceptive nature over the course of time. And part of this is like the the supreme beings of the past, I guess, which would be like Napoleon or Alexander the Great, for example. So most of these people were very young when they were doing their most impressive feats. So from that perspective, I can say that being the oldest person, it might make you more treasured, especially in Eastern societies, but it doesn't necessarily, and it might make you more wise. I'm not disputing that, but it doesn't necessarily mean your ideas will have the same virility as the younger person. So the younger version of yourself may have a more valid perspective on any given situation. That's what I'm trying to say. So what this means nominally is, sorry, this is breaking new ground in the dome here. Oh, so there are exceptions to the rule. So this is like Zhang Ziya in China, who was known as the Tai Kung Secret Teachings. He was like 65 when he was doing his stuff. So it's possible to do it when you're old. It's just kind of uncommon. Usually the young charismatic person is the person affecting real change, not the 45-year-old status quo loving person, or even mild status quo progression person. So, there you go. All right. Anyway, enjoy the music. I think I ran out of my points. I can still progress it further, but you get the idea. Look at that intense philosophical discussion you had while watching a Ghost Trick video. Oh, 20 people that will watch this or whatever. And thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. The music's great. And I'll see you next time.